Hey everyone, Tiffany Chipman here on my book review. I chose the book Changing on the Job Developing Leaders for a Complex World by Jennifer Graver Berger. Here's the cover. Um, just a cute anecdote. I like the covers of books, they kind of give me an idea of where to wrap my head around a little bit. I chose this book as it just seemed to be a really by just kind of reading a little bit of it was a good book to kind of put my finger on some of the leadership dynamics in a church and how this might show as to be a great resource. And I was not disappointed. I think this book will be something that I can utilize throughout my career in church leadership and organization. So Jennifer points out in this book that right off the gateway, right in the introduction, that she breaks the book into three parts. And really, the three parts they're broken into is that, like the one-on-one kind of level of leadership, the small group or committee kind of leadership, um, and roles in that, and then also the organizational. So it kind of builds the platforms in so many different scenarios, which as church leadership goes, it really, there's so many different dynamics and so many different ways that I think that church leaders need to lead, depending on each level or each element within the full congregation and within the full organization. So I love that if you're really looking at, there's a dynamic within a committee that is drawing some things, you could resort to this book in that part. And the part is actually helping others to grow. So how can you move past you know conflict that might be there in a group setting? If you have a complex thing going on with one or two individuals, how can you help lead those individuals to working together? And throughout the whole book, though, she brings in the adult, just lost my train of thought there, but brings in the adult development theory. And she references this numerous times throughout the books and shows these great um, charts on the different levels or different types, different forms of adult development and where each adult might be at. So you can kind of see where that form would take the dynamics or the roads to where they're at. Um, like I said, this was a book that really engaged me in so many different dynamics that I didn't really necessarily maybe think of when it comes to church organization and how a big complex thing that is throughout the whole organization might be more on a one-on-one situation, or a committee is having some development issues, or extra leadership is needed in other categories. And I love that you don't have to fish through a lot of different resources to get to where you necessarily are looking for help or for guidance. It's a very easy to read book that um, gets right to the point of where leadership can go and how to kind of guide yourself in whatever mindset you're in. So that was also the other thing that I really took away from here, is learning my own strengths and leadership patterns and how I can fit those and relate those into other people, into the relational aspect, into how other people see and take leadership, or they believe into leadership, and how to work together. Fantastic book. I would go and get it. I think this will be one that sits on my shelf for whatever church office I am in. Great book.